Oh, it was like a dream come true because I practically grew up on the University of Arizona campus. My mother used to bring me up here for art shows and forums and plays, and I used to ride my bike up here. I grew up about 10 blocks away from the campus. So when I entered here as a freshman, I didn't really need all that freshman orientation as far as knowing the campus. It was like I was at home. Confidence came through sports, feeling wanted and feeling like serving a purpose. I've always looked at sports as like entertainment, and I got to entertain. I kind of had what I describe as kind of a smooth style, and I worked on that, trying to make things look easy, just to design something for myself. But also, I'm a writer and a performer and an actor, and I used to do those things growing up also. But I'm a jock, and I grew up in a neighborhood of some great athletes, actually. Some of the all-time great Arizona athletes. The Batiste family was right down the street from me. Teeny Gaston, these names don't mean anything to you, but they were the bad dudes when I was growing up. And I just wanted to make the team when I got to Tucson High, and becoming really good at a sport just wasn't part of my plans, but I loved it. I was dealing with Jim Crow growing up, and I had the feeling that if you treated people with respect, you would get that in return, and I tested that out at Tucson High. And then all of a sudden I got better at basketball, and then, you know, the little special cheers and getting your picture in the paper and your name in the paper, it was just like, wow, you know, I've got a way to contribute to my hometown. And contributing was part of my upbringing. My grandfather used to talk to me all the time about, you know, you have to make yourself known in the world. You can't hide in the shadows. People need to know who you are and what you've got to offer. And I found this as a place to do that. It's given me something that I couldn't have ever expected. I broke that record. I was proud of it. It was fun. You know, all my friends were high-fiving and stuff. But I thought that was it, you know, and then it just lasted, and then it got to 50 years, and then you contacted me, and I started getting articles in the paper here. And what it's really done for me, because there have been some great basketball players come through here after me, Sean Elliott and Bob Elliott and Cornel Norman and Bibby and all those guys. And I like that it's allowed me to be mentioned with them. I thought I was going to see it broken, and I wanted to see it broken because it was on national TV. Jared Bayless, he was off. He had over 20 points in the first half, and he was on fire. And my wife was still living then, and I remember saying, "Hey, baby, come in here. We're going to see my record broken and see." And here's my little me moment. I was thinking, they break that, and they're going to be looking to see what the records, and I'm going to have my name mentioned on national TV, you know. And the second half, well, one thing, they've had a kind of team, they don't need anybody to score 46, right. But I wouldn't mind it being broken at all. Just to see some young person have that joy. It was kind of an impressive record, being in the zone. We didn't call it in the zone then. We would call it, what would we call it? Got hot. It was exciting because that was our gym. And for me as a person, it was a gym I used to go in and sneak in and shoot baskets. But it was, although we didn't win a lot, we felt very comfortable in the place. A lot of the high school all-star games were played there, you know, so it was the gym, you know, and it was a place where I got to see Link Richmond and all the greats play, so it was special. It's still special to me. I found out that it's no longer going to be a gym for PE and anything, but as a building, and that site will always mean a lot to me. That's where I scored the 46 points. I guess I didn't want to get all into my records and stuff, but I just figured, like, okay, they've got McHale now and all the great things that have happened there, but I kind of own Bear Down. I'm very proud of that. I love this institution, and I love the team, and I keep up with them. And Sean Miller being the coach, just after Lute, I was wondering, who do you get? And then when I saw Sean's name, because I'd been following him at Xavier, and I just thought, this is great. You know, what they've been doing is going to continue on. So, and I feel part of it. I've been in contact with a couple of college presidents over the years. I feel like I have some ownership in this institution. Very meaningful. It's kind of a spiritual kind of thing for me to come back to Tucson, because this is where it began for me, you know, for whatever I've contributed to society or to this world, it began here. This is where I learned the basics. I grew up in the most loving home anyone could ever imagine. My mother was one of the most wonderful people, and I could pull her hair out sometimes, you know. But I grew up in a home where we conversed. My grandfather was very instrumental in that too, and saying, you know, like I mentioned before, you know, make your mark in the world, be a decent person, be a person that when you come around, people don't go, oh, here he comes, you know, but rather they light up and glad you're there. I've tried to live that.